So in games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Valhalla, before an enemy attacks you, you'll see a yellow flashing light indicator. This means you can either dodge, block, or parry the attack. When it's red, you know you've got to dodge. In Spider-Man, you have the Spidey sense on Peter's head. If you dodge at the moment it turns red, you get an extra bonus or opening to punish your opponent. Stellar Blade says, forget that, figure it out. So when I tried the demo, I died quite a bit, or when something is flashing, it's really in the last split second. We'll get to that in a second. Hello guys, this is Ashley, and today I'm reviewing the Stellar Blade demo. We're going to look at gameplay, graphics, performance. We'll also explore if it's worth a day one purchase or not. I'll give you some tips and tricks and what graphical mode is most optimal for you. But first, we got a big elephant in the room that needs addressing. Because as we all know, you can't spell Stellar Blade without controversy. Most of the famous people we see in movies, music, and TV are really good looking. It's kind of like a rule that to make it big in Hollywood, you have to be both talented and easy on the eyes. When you compare these A-list actors to top writers or star athletes, the actors usually win in the looks department. We enjoy watching attractive people on our screens because, well, good-looking people are nice to look at. Stellar Blade stars a pretty main character named Eve, but that's nothing new. While some gamers sometimes complain when female characters like Aloy or Ellie don't look a certain way, most female characters in games, just like actors, are good-looking, so Stellar Blade isn't really doing anything different here. Still, it's causing some commotion, even though people seem to like it when Sony showed a long trailer for it last week. Some of the fuss started when the director, Hung Tae Kim, talked to Games Radar through a translator. But what he said actually makes sense. Honestly, when I play a game, I want to see someone who looks better than me. That's what I want. I don't want to see someone ordinary. I want to see someone ideal. I think that's really important in entertainment. The director mentioned that the developers paid special attention to Eve's back and rear, since that's what players will see most often. While some might interpret this as objectifying, Stellar Blade is a highly stylized game, and focusing on visual details like this is part of its design. It's similar to other games like Bayonetta or Lollipop Chainsaw, but those taking up arms against unrealistic body designs when there is a real person behind that mesh may need to reevaluate their perspective too. We don't need to intellectualize it. Sometimes a good-looking person is just good to look at.
Here, done. Something does feel
Okay, we got that out of the way. Now let's focus on the game itself. In Stellar Blade, players traverse a semi-open world with a linear-level design, drawing inspiration from the Souls-like genre. Throughout your journey, you'll encounter regular camps that serve as checkpoints, allowing you to replenish health and upgrade skills. Additionally, these camps feature a dedicated music system, providing players with the opportunity to enjoy fantastic soundtracks while resting. For more extensive upgrades and resources, players can visit superior supply camps. Here, they can enhance weapons, unlock new skills, purchase items from the shop, craft new suits, and more. The game's design is straightforward. As the character Eve, you encounter various enemies along your path, culminating in a final boss battle at the end of each mission. However, Stellar Blade also encourages exploration, with easily discoverable hidden paths offering rewards such as upgrade materials and extra cash. During the demo, 2 difficulty modes were available: Story and Normal. Playing in normal mode provided a challenging but manageable experience, with the game not reaching the punishing difficulty of typical Souls-like games. At the heart of the gameplay experience lies within its robust combat system, offering players an exhilarating and satisfying experience. Timing is crucial in this game, with a strong emphasis on mastering the art of parrying and dodging. The combat mechanics are well balanced, providing you with a variety of offensive and defensive skills to utilize. Drawing inspiration from Sekiro, shadows die twice, parrying and dodging are essential skills for success. Thankfully, you get 4 colored cues when a certain enemy is about to attack and they go by. Blue, enemies will try to grab you, dodge it. Purple, boss attacks, dodge them. Red, fast attacks, parry them. Yellow, slow attacks, simply dodge them. To perfectly dodge in the Stellar Blade demo, press the circle button. You may also dodge an incoming attack simply by moving out of the way, but that is only possible when attacks are slower and have a yellow cue. You must remember that enemies don't attack as soon as the color cue flashes, and only attack after a second. So, if you press the circle button as soon as the color pops, you may end up getting the dodge timing wrong and end up taking damage. Press the L1 button to parry in the Stellar Blade demo. Parrying is the right way to save yourself from taking damage when attacks are fast and red cued. This means these types of attacks leave you with the least reaction time to dodge, so parrying them is the ideal route to take. In addition to individual skills, players can execute powerful combo moves to decimate their enemies. The game offers various definitive skill trees, each with unique abilities that redefine the player's approach to combat. The versatility allows players to discover and develop their own distinct playstyles. One aspect that stands out is the sense of accomplishment that comes with mastering the game's combat mechanics. It feels genuinely rewarding rather than tedious. Overall, Stellar Blade has captivated my interest, and I'm eagerly anticipating the full release to explore the intricacies of its combat system further. Let's talk performance. Stellar Blade actually has 3 visual modes: performance, balanced, and resolution. The performance mode looks to run at around 1440p and is a steady 60 FPS even in intense sequences, dropping at most a frame here and there. Meanwhile, resolution mode targets a native 4K and seems to maintain a solid 30 FPS. The only slightly shaky option is balanced, which uses TAA upscaling to go from 1440p to 4K, although even its drops rarely go below 50 FPS, perhaps making it a viable option if you have a VRR-capable screen. As for visual quality, there doesn't seem to be much difference between the modes beyond basic resolution. I'm sure more in-depth analyses will be incoming, but for now things look good. If you ask me, I highly recommend avoiding fidelity mode in this game. The game is very fast-paced. If you watched our live demo gameplay, you could tell dying is not hard in this game. To be honest, balance mode seemed like a good option. In performance mode, while not much difference, you can see more artifacting in the hairs and more flatness in the world. I'm not sure, but it feels like it drops to 1080p sometimes just to keep the frames at a stable 60. On the other hand, balance mode looks exactly like fidelity, albeit at 1440p. That's you won't really notice, especially when you're in combat. I think sacrificing 10 frames for a bit of extra sharpness and clarity is a good deal. The concept of Earth being overrun by extraterrestrial beings or monstrous creatures is a narrative trope that's been explored repeatedly. Stellar Blade treads familiar ground in this regard. In the world of Stellar Blade, Earth is under the oppressive rule of terrifying entities known as the Nadiba. As Eve, a member of the 7th Airborne Squad, your mission is clear: reclaim our homeland. While the overarching storyline may seem somewhat predictable, it still manages to deliver a satisfactory experience, featuring a cast of intriguing characters. However, there's a hopeful anticipation within me that the full game might surprise and exceed expectations. If the narrative unfolds in an engaging and unforeseen manner, it could lead to an exhilarating adventure. When Stellar Blade was first unveiled during the PS State of Play event, I harbored both excitement and skepticism. However, after immersing myself in the demo for nearly 2 hours, any doubts I had have dissipated. It seems like the developers have put their heart and love into giving ARPG fans a delightful treat that they will hopefully hold on to for ages to come. In a nutshell, Stellar Blade has all the quality and potential to become the best action game of 2024. What about you? Have you tried the demo? Are you hyped for the game? Let's continue the talk in the comments.